Are you struggling on the listing appointments? Are you struggling trying to figure out how to value a seller's property to win the listing? Well, hopefully, this video gives you one or two little nuggets on exactly how to nail the listing valuation to win more listings. If you don't already know who I am, my name is Josh Barnett. I've been in the business 17 years. I've done, uh, I think, over 615. I've personally handled over 615 closings, and so hopefully this helps you out. That's the plain and simple of it. Hopefully this helps you out. So let's go ahead and get started. That's why you clicked on the video. So first thing I do whenever I'm getting ready to do a listing valuation for a seller to list their home to sell is I pull the old MLS sheet and I pull the tax records on the property. I need to know the square footage of it, and I pull up that property diagram too on the tax records to see and to ensure that there's nothing missing that I need to account for in the valuation. And then using that old MLS sheet too, I compare the two. And if the details match fairly closely, then I know that what I'm working with is good data. And then also on the other conversation, the initial seller call, I gathered a lot of data too that I can apply to the tax sheet and to the old MLS sheet. So is that helpful? Thumbs up. Thumbs up if that's helpful. Okay. Next thing, I pull the last 90-day sales for the home's specific neighborhood. Now, if I don't have at least 3 closings in the last 90 days for that neighborhood, then I'm going to expand the search. Okay. You've got to have, me personally, I feel like I have to have at least 3 closings in that neighborhood, or I've got to expand the search. So if I need more comparable cells, I'll expand it to the school district or to the city. Now, when I expand it to the school district or the city, I've really got to narrow down the comparables because I'll have a lot more, depending on how large your school district is or how large your city is. I'll have a lot more houses that may not necessarily be very good comparable cells. So how I do that is I go plus or minus 300 square feet. So if I've got a 2,500 square foot home, I'm going to do 2,200 to 2,800, 2,200 to 2,800. Okay. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? And then I'm also going to narrow it down to the exact same amount of garage spaces. That's really key. So a 2-car garage and a 3-car garage have different values with the same square footage. That third garage is worth a lot more. It absolutely is. And then I also do plus or minus 10 years of age. This is what I do, guys. Okay. Take it for what you want. I'm hoping you use this to make yourselves a better agent. But I do 10 years of age, plus or minus 10 years of age, plus or minus 300 square feet, and the exact same garage count. So that's how I narrow it down when I have to expand to the school district or when I have to expand to the city. Is that helpful? Is that helpful? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I want to provide value to you guys. I want you guys to win. Okay. Also, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I put out tons of information on how to do real estate so that you can win through my experience. My name is Josh Barnett. I'm an agent over at XP Realty. Guys, if you're part of 30% of agents who are looking for another brokerage option out there or one that provides you 3 different ways to earn income, a low $16,000 cap, and then also the ability to have one of the most powerful CRMs to take your business to that next level, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I want to book a one-on-one with you and go over how XP Realty is obsessed with agent success. Now, after I narrow down those comparables, so that we just went through on steps 1, 2, and 3, then I want to, if I'm in a rising market, I take the median or the average, whichever one is lower, the median or the average sales price, whichever one is lower, and I use that as my base when I'm in a rising market. I know every market's different depending on where you guys are at. Pay attention to your sales stats, see where you're at. And then I take the high, and those are going to be my low valuation, my high valuation, and then my average valuation. That's how I do it in a rising market. In a declining market, Okay. If your home values are not rising, if you're in a declining market, pay attention to what the actives are being listed at. If the actives are less expensive than the solds and the days on market are above the average days on market, that's a sign of a declining market, guys. You've got to pay attention to actives if you're in a declining market. You don't want to overprice a house in a declining market, guys. You don't. A good home will typically always get multiple offers if it's priced correctly, because there's typically more than one buyer out there at a time looking for a good home. There typically is. So don't worry about underpricing a home. Don't worry about that. Price it right. Price it right. So is that helpful? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. That's helpful. Okay. And then when I have both of those, like I said just a second ago, I give them three different values. I give them a median or average value, I give them a high value, and I give them a low value. And I rate the median or the average value, I rate it as a 6 or 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when we're comparing your home to the others that we've looked at together and looking at these pictures of what these other homes are offering and the write-ups on what these other homes are offering, do you feel that your home is rated between a 6 or a 7? Ask them, guys. You ask them. If they're not on board with the right pricing strategy, you've got to educate them. You've got to educate them to get the right pricing strategy. Okay, if they're like, yeah, Josh, it's a 6 or 7, that's where we were thinking about starting. Perfect. That sounds wonderful. I can have a photographer there tomorrow around 3:30 p.m. Will the home be ready for the photo shoot? That's what I go for the photo shoot. I always go for the next appointment. When I'm talking to buyers, when I'm talking to sellers, I always go for the next appointment. If they confirm the photo shoot, great. I'm going to book it right away. And as soon as I get it booked, I'm going to send the listing authorization. So as soon as I get those pictures back, I can begin marketing the home all throughout the internet, marketing the home all throughout the MLS, so that we can start getting showings scheduled and buyers in your home. Does that sound like a plan? Perfect. Okay. Now, if their home's not a 6 or 7, if you think their home's a 10, if they, during that initial seller call, the questions that they answered, you feel like their home's probably going to be a 10, just say the median price and then go immediately to the 10 price. But with everything you've told me, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, it sounds to me more like your home is along the 10 out of 10 range. Would you agree? Yeah, Josh, we're kind of thinking it is really upgraded. I mean, we've got an infinity pool. We've got a 3-car garage that's heated and cooled. Like we were feeling it was a 10 out of 10. When you were telling me those things, that's exactly how I felt, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. What do you think about the pricing on the 10 out of 10 pricing? Is that kind of where you were thinking you were going to be at? Yeah, Josh, we were looking at comparables. That's where we were thinking we were going to be at. Perfect. As long as we're both on the same page, this is going to be an easy transaction. I can have the photographer there tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Will the home be ready for the photo shoot? It's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Same thing. Okay. Once you start getting your reps in, just like Alex Hermosi says, it's just going to be natural. It's going to be a muscle reaction, and you're not going to be fumbling over it. That's why role playing and script and reading your scripts out loud, even to yourself, is really important. And guys, you can record your scripts on your phone, and then you can play it back to yourself when you're driving in between appointments. There's lots of ways to role play and get script practice in without having a script partner. Okay. Now, if they're on the low side, I just go straight to the low. I don't talk about the medium. I don't talk about the high. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, based on the initial call and what you were saying, you're wanting to sell the house as is. It was dated. It needed updated. It needed a remodel, et cetera, et cetera. From what you mentioned needing remodeled, I don't think that's going to be more than about 20 grand to do that remodel. Now, that's just an estimate. I'm not a contractor, but I'm thinking your pricing is more along the 5, maybe the 4 out of 5, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Is that kind of where you were thinking the condition of your home is at? Yeah, Josh, that's where I was thinking it was at. Well, at that condition, the market's saying your home is still worth this amount of money. Is that what you were thinking you were going to get out of your home? Yes, Josh, that's what we were thinking we were going to get out of your home. Guys, if you did your research right, they've already researched it too. They already know where the pricing's at. If you did your research right, it's going to align with where they're at. It is. That's what makes you a professional realtor. That's what makes you a professional real estate agent. That's the reason they called you. They want a professional to help them out. And then you book the photo shoot. All right, with all that said, and knowing where you want to price it at, I can have a photographer over there tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Will the home be ready for the photo shoot tomorrow at 3:30 p.m.? Yes, perfect. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to get to work booking this photo shoot, and then I'm also going to send over the listing authorization. And once we get the house, the photo shot, I usually get it back within 24 minutes. We can get the house on the market. We can start showings. We can get you a contract. And that way you'll be able to do X. And X is their why. So you need to know the net. They need to know the net. That's what the importance of the net sheet is in the seller valuation. The first sheet on every one of my seller valuations is the net sheet. They need to know those numbers. Those are so important to get them to the why. You learned what the why was on the initial seller call when they called in. You learned what that what that why was on the seller call. So they got the net. They know the pricing. They know their walkaway money. And then we talk about getting them to their goal, getting them to their why and what they're selling after you book that photo shoot. That sounds great, Josh. I can't wait. So that's my simple valuation process. Rewind the video, watch it again if you didn't catch it, but it's real simple. 90 days, do the neighborhood. If you got to go outside the neighborhood, narrow down the search, plus or minus 300 square feet, plus or minus 10 years of age, and the same garage count. If you've got to widen the search, if you don't have at least 3 sales in that neighborhood. Okay, then go through the net, have the customer consultation based off the valuation sheet, book the photo shoot, which means you book the appointment, email them the documents, get them to sign, and let them know, hey, I just received the signed documents. We're getting one step closer to X, whatever their Y is, to X. That's it, guys. That's how easy my valuation process is. I swear it's that easy. So I hope this was helpful. And if it was, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a big thumbs up. And if you're part of 30% of agents out there who do not feel like their brokerage is giving them equity opportunities, giving them the best CRM and front-end website with IDX on the market, and only commission incomes, because there's 3 different ways to earn income at eXp Realty. You don't have to sell houses till you die, guys. Glenn Sanford set this company up for agent success, for your success. And I want you to call me, text me, email me, or book a Zoom down below so we can talk about your future agent success at eXp Realty. See you guys on the next video.